What's up, people? General at Work here with another video, and this one is geared towards why you should get the Apple Card. And yes, I understand. I see the videos where people act like the Apple Card is evil or they're like out to get their users. I strongly disagree with those statements, but this is also not me saying that is right for everyone. But stick around and see if the Apple Card might be right for you. So let's go over a quick rundown of what the Apple Card offers for those of you who aren't familiar. So for starters, the Apple Card is a metal card, titanium to be exact. And if I don't say so myself, I think it's one of the most beautifully crafted cards in the game currently, and the best sounding when you drop it. Why would you drop your card? I don't know. Everyone does. I mean, I guess it's a thing that people do with their cars, is a perk when it sounds better when it falls. Ask the card people. And of course, everyone has their own opinion, but let me know in the comments, what's your favorite metal card? But moving on, the Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs, and you also get 3% cash back when you use at select merchants, such as Apple, of course, Nike, Ace, Panera Bread, and Walgreens, and more. But you also get 2% cash back when you use Apple Pay and 1% when you use the physical card. And according to Apple, there's no fees, including hidden ones. But currently at the time of filming this video, they also offer a savings account that has 4.15 APY, and that's pretty great, but that is subject to change. Enough about the details of the Apple Card, because this video is more so about why I think you should get it. Let's get into it. Also, let's go ahead and get this out the way. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, which there's nothing wrong with that, and you use credit for a lifeline, I would just avoid credit cards altogether. When in that situation, it's best to just focus on building your income, building different streams, focusing on your financial literacy. And once you have that, kind of under control, then you start to get into the credit card game. But now that we got that out the way, here are some reasons why you should get the Apple Card. Let's start off with the first reason. This reason I don't see a lot on the internet, and I feel like I just have to say it. And a lot of people still use debit cards, and not a lot of people are credit card enthusiasts. Like, they're not trying to get 50 cards, 14 cards, 10 cards, all these credit cards. They just kind of want two, like one for cash back and maybe one for travel. So I think that if you just had the Apple Card, that's a good just catch-all card if you really think about it. Now, I know there will be some people that argue with that point, but if you use Apple Pay a lot, I use Apple Pay pretty much everywhere I go, so I get 2% cash back almost everywhere I go, and Apple Pay is starting to be accepted at more places. I do live in a major city, so that does make a little bit of a difference, and I think where you live also plays a role in this. But if you do use Apple Pay a lot, you pretty much getting 2% cash back for every single purchase. And if you use it at those select merchants, now you're getting 3% cash back. And even if you were to use the physical card, let's just say you're in a situation where you use a physical card, you still get 1% cash back versus if you were to use your debit card where you get no cash back. So starting off with the Apple Card is a very good starting card to pretty much get you into that credit card game, get you in that credit mindset. That's a big reason why I would say that's a good card to get, because at least you're not using a debit card where you get no rewards, no points, no anything. And the second thing I want to talk about, and this one might be a little bit controversial because it could be a double-edged blade. It could either help or it can hurt. It depends on the person using it. This is why you have to be extremely responsible when using a credit card. But the second one I want to talk about is they give people with a low credit score a second chance to redeem themselves. And what I mean by that is you don't have to have the best credit score in order to get accepted for an Apple credit card. And I think that's pretty cool. And I'm sure some people would disagree with me, but there is people that just life hits them very hard and they need something to help them get back on their feet. And I feel like the Apple Card did it perfectly. And I like the way they did it. I feel like, of course, if you're irresponsible and you don't use it right, you can get caught up in the whole in-debt thing. And I truly can see that happening. But if you are responsible and you do take this second chance and you really make the best of it, then I really feel like it's very helpful, because there is a lot of cars out there that is very difficult to get. You got to get credit builder cars until you can get up to a somewhat decent card. And I would say, from my opinion, the Apple Card is a very decent card. And for some people, they give them a decent credit limit, so it does help with your utilization. So the higher your credit limit is on that card, it does push down your overall utilization, which it also can help your credit score. So what Apple did there, I think it was real brilliant. But of course, I know there are some people out there that's just irresponsible and mess it up for the bunch. But for those few people who actually take the second chance and do everything right, I feel like Apple really helped a lot of people out with this move. Another thing I think Apple did right with this is their very user-friendly app is very good. I mean, they have this thing called Daily Cash, and it's basically daily cash from the 3%, 2%, 1% cash back categories that you get money sent over to the wallet app. And now you could actually have that money from your daily cash get put into your savings account with the 4.15 APY and just let it accumulate. And I think that's just brilliant. Yeah, it is one of those things that I just see like, okay, I think they did a really good job. Some people think they gamified it too much, but I think for beginners and people who don't really quite understand the credit card game, I think it's perfect for them. And even people who's just not that invested into credit cards in general. So I see it like, if you're not really big on credit cards, you just kind of want to pay for something and, you know, pay it off, Apple Card is perfect. And then they have this cool little gauge. It's like a wheel gauge, and that's how you pay your balance. So you can like spend it quarter ways to pay a quarter of your balance, but we all should be spending it all the way, because you should pay your balances off in full, right? We just want to just spin that wheel all the way around so we can just take care of that balance. But yeah, it's brilliant. I like it a lot. And most importantly, why I feel like you should get the Apple Card is because most likely, if you got the Apple Card, that most likely mean you already a part of the Apple ecosystem, which means basically you probably got this Apple trackpad, maybe even got this Apple keyboard, or maybe even got a laptop, which I have right here. And I got the AirPods in the other room, and then I got the Apple Watch on my wrist, and I have an iPhone. So basically, long story, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Long story short, if you're an Apple fan, you're an Apple fan all around. And some people would see that as a negative, but when you have everything under one umbrella, most people would see that as a positive if it was any other company. So I see it like you don't have to go through so many loops whenever you're using the card. You're already a part of that ecosystem. So why not utilize it and just be a part of the ecosystem? And let's be real, worst case scenario, Apple go under, which very unlikely at this moment, but it can happen. You just move on to a different ecosystem. And in most cases, we all like ecosystems because it does make our life easier. And I'm not saying you should be happy to be trapped into Apple ecosystem, but if you choose to buy a lot of Apple things, you just choose to buy a lot of Apple things. And if you like the credit card, you simply just like the credit card. And I think that they did a good job with it. I don't see many issues. A lot of people don't like the fact that the only way you can get 2% cash back is if you use Apple Pay. But if you already using Apple Pay, then why not just do Apple Pay? Sometimes it saves you having to carry your wallet. The next best step is them adding your driver's license to the wallet app, and then you don't even need to carry a physical wallet, which would be kind of cool, especially for people who like to go to the gym, which I do like to go to the gym. You don't always want to carry your wallet in there. So me personally, I think Apple did a terrific job with the card, and I don't really see many negatives. Also, for anyone who has Apple Card, comment below. Tell me your experience with it. Do you like it? Do you have a lot of negatives on it? And what are your negatives? What are your positives? I really want to know because I'm interested. I really like the card. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see what can go wrong with it. In worst case scenario, you get a different credit card and use that. But realistically, I think the Apple Card works perfectly fine. I think it does its job really well. So yeah, let me know. I would really like to see it down in the comments. If y'all like this video at all, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It helps us out tremendously. It really does. But with that being said, I appreciate anybody that check out the video. See y'all on the next one.